You know, I do a thing called a weave. If I start a story, what you do is you weave things and you do it. I always got more publicity than other people, and it wasn't like I was trying. In fact, I don't know exactly why. Maybe you can tell me why.
Oh, I could definitely tell you. You said a lot of wild
Maybe.
What would you say to them? Kids who want to pursue their own version of the American dream and try to achieve their wildest dreams and make it all come true?
I would say very simply, honestly, vote for Trump.
47th president-elect Donald Trump gained much-needed support amongst young Gen Z and millennial voters this election. Is his son, Barron Trump, a key reason?
Joining us now is the host of the Bongino Report Early Edition and my daughter, Evita Duffy. Evita, great to have you on. So let's just talk about Barron Trump, but also sort of in a bigger picture, the role that podcasts played in this election, particularly with the mail vote.
Yeah, well, what Barron did, advising his father to take the non-traditional media route, was really an amazing decision by the Trump campaign. Harris did not fill in that gap in the same way. And I think that's why Trump did so much better with young voters than he even did back in 2020. And it reflects changing media landscape at large. You have social media and podcasting, like you guys have at Fox Station, increasingly being more powerful than traditional media, particularly among young people. So Barron helped Trump meet young people where they're at, and at a really unique time, because a lot of young men, particularly right now, are revolting against the culture, against our institutions that hate them. And that's why this election, which was supposed to be the revenge of the woman, instead became the year of the man. Trump's support among men surpassed Harris's among women, 22 points to 14. Trump rallied low-propensity young male voters, the frat boy vote. And it's not a meme vote either, right? People kind of think, oh, they're voting as a joke because Trump is funny. Young men are looking at their future, and it's bleak. There's a hatred of masculinity, economic ruin, war, and they went with Trump, who represents really a middle finger to the culture and institutions that are suffocating and demonizing them.
You know, Evita, it's you mentioned kind of the characterization of men. Here is an example of that. A political analyst on media ecosystem, how that media ecosystem is turning men into fascists. Watch this.
What they have done in their online media ecosystem is build a radicalization engine, literally the way militant groups do around the world, that takes people from relatively low-level annoyances with the world. Why are eggs so expensive? Why is my kid learning this new thing in American history in school that I didn't learn? And then moves them through YouTube videos, through podcasts, moves them from that annoyance all the way, slowly, to a full-blown fascist politics. It's an elaborate multi-billion-dollar infrastructure, and there is nothing like it on the pro-democracy side. We don't have when a man is just lost and lonely and not yet radicalized, we don't have the equivalent of Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson to move that man in a feminist direction. By the way, we should educate men that it's actually really great to live with a strong woman who makes money. It's actually easier. Life is easier.
The fascist ecosystem needs an alternative where we can feminize men, Evita.
That is one of the most hilarious sound bites I've ever seen, because the only reason why right-wingers have a lot of power on in the podcast sphere and alternative media is because the legacy media, people at CNN and MSNBC, have been excluding right-wing voices for years now. MSNBC and CNN, they want to know why you guys don't have a Joe Rogan? Because you did have a Joe Rogan. His name was Joe Rogan. He was pro-universal health care, pro-trans rights. He was a Bernie bro. And they have excluded anybody who doesn't fit in their specific political box for so long that we've gone in other routes. This is why young people are going for alternative voices.
Everything in that clip is wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Like every single thing in that clip is wrong. This whole idea that there's a right-wing echo chamber that's been built over time to service men and move them to the right.
To radicalize them?
Joe Rogan was on the left. Like, you did have the biggest podcast in the world. It was named Joe Rogan. And you ostracized him like you did Elon Musk and RFK and everybody else. It's crazy time.
Final thoughts, Evita.
Well, I'll just say that this has been happening for a long time. Young men have been moving away from the left for a long time. If you're an 18-year-old male, You were 11 during Me Too. You had the demonization of men for virtually as long as you can remember. You had during COVID, the schools shut down, no school dances, no sports. Young men have felt the real wrath of the left, and they're moving away in really extreme numbers. And it makes sense. And it's not fascism. It's just that Democrats have lost their way with young people.
All right, Evita Duffy, thank you so much for being with us this morning, Evita.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.